How's it going, everybody? ZoinkMeister Patrick here, joined today by John.
Hello, everybody.
And today we're playing more Atomic Heart on the PC.
Let's get radioactive.
This is the final episode, so get buckled up for a lot of lore reveal. Should be a fun one.
All right, we can take an elevator out. And I guess this elevator should look familiar.
Atomic Heart Project, approved by the Secret Congress of the CPSU Central Committee on February 14, 1951. The goal is the suppression of the United States of America, change of political regime, abolition of capitalism, establishment of communism, establishing social and moral ideals consistent with the beliefs of a Soviet person. The method of execution is the seizure of the strategic and military facilities, followed by disconnection and shutdown of nuclear power plants. Effective deactivation of the Atomic Heart of America, complete surrender of the government, and the transfer of power to the top leadership of the USSR.
So how are they gonna pull that off?
Well, Sergei, first they sell robots, then they simply give them away as aid. Once they reach critical mass, they take over all the power plants and cut off the power.
So that's a quick summary. We finally got what Atomic Heart stood for. And yeah, this elevator should look familiar. Episode 1, we were in a very, very similar elevator, but not that one exactly, because we haven't seen this room before. And this book says Atomic Heart on it. So we actually finally get to see what the Atomic Heart Project is. So I have little summaries here at the top, but you can also obviously pause and read the whole thing if you want. The important part is that America has this Energy for All program where they're planning on hiding nuclear missile silos underneath nuclear power plants. And so kind of claim that they we don't have any nuclear missiles here in the US seems to be the goal. But the Soviet knows that they do have them. They're just under these free energy systems. And so the Soviets' plan is to send out the robots, and then with Collective 2.0, they're going to take over and shut down all the power in America.
Greetings, honored members of the Politburo. I am pleased to inform you that the Atomic Heart Project is now complete and ready for launch. This is a top-secret project designed to crush the resistance of our class enemies in Western Europe, East Asia, and of course, North America. As you know, Facility 3826 has been a player on the capitalist market for many years now, providing a labor force, i.e. robots, to the entire world free of charge as a way to skirt sanctions. The distribution of these robots has already led to civil unrest due to growing unemployment in rival countries. But more importantly, it has also led to our devices being located in strategic targets, without exception, including nuclear power plants. After switching them to combat mode, we will capture rival countries' nuclear reactors and demand that power be handed over to the people. The borders of the Soviet Union will expand beneath the banner of a people's uprising. We will demonstrate the advantages of our ideology and disseminate it throughout the world. The Soviet Union will square its shoulders and direct mankind's gaze up to the stars. The Atomic Heart Project will be launched as soon as every citizen of our nation has been fully polymerized. Thank you for your time, comrades.
I never would have thought Sechenov would be capable of something like this.
Dmitri is not the man he was when we started this. I don't know what broke him. Atomic Heart, politics, or the fact that everyone has been calling him a brilliant genius every day for years.
You see, I was a little afraid to go for it. I didn't want to break their conversation there. But yeah, so we finally know what's going on with everything there.
Yeah, they kind of go over that idea a few times, right?
At full speed, the GMC-69 geodesic monocycle's wheel can slice a man's body in half. Its standard loadout includes a 7.62 millimeter machine gun that can be replaced with a flamethrower or laser gun.
I still don't get how we can control machines in America from the Soviet Union. It's not like hacking a hub in the facility.
Comrade Major, the polymers have the ability to transmit information among themselves without need for radio frequencies. No other transmitters are required, since the neuropolymer is itself a transmitter. Collective 2.0 will work the same way, but with the brains of ordinary users. An enormous social distance would be required to avoid control. but any undesirable outcasts will be caught by the robots.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of the new information a little bit, is like how big of a deal it
Robot's
is.
extremities are made out of PTA-4 for improved human spine-breaking performance.
I love that. Up to 80 kills an hour, although engineers weren't that scary to us because they didn't really ever attack.
Yeah. Unless you attack them, they were pretty good.
There's the Natasha. She was the boss in the ballerina area.
The NAT-256 Natasha heavy-duty ground-based loader bot can squeeze up to 5 liters of blood from a human body in under 20 seconds.
Ooh.
I bet it'll be like how people control these monsters with that fucking gizmo there. The thought controller.
As I said earlier, thought is nothing but a trinket, a fake. The primary connector is the Jellyman, the neuropolymer, and only Sechenov has access to it. Only the Jellyman, the massive data array, can resonate with all polymerized objects and control them. And believe me, Comrade Major, a tremendous amount of polymer has been spread throughout the world over the last few years. Every machine and every human being on Earth will become part of Collective.
Designed as a mobile healthcare unit, the doc cannot replace a medic or paramedic, but it is quite adept at performing autopsies, especially if the patient is still alive.
Autopsies on a living patient.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay.
Yeah, kind of gives some hints. But yeah, also the fact that you mentioned, so the thought devices aren't as big of a deal as we thought.
The Bumblebee has a silent mode for infiltrating enemy lines and gathering intelligence.
Because it's basically like the thought devices, as far as we knew, is a way to like send out a signal. But it seems like that signal just gets sent to the quote-unquote Jellyman.
Acting as an exoskeleton for a pluche-based neuropolymer creature, the Dewdrop is a highly capable combat unit whose laser beam's penetration rate for human flesh is a staggering 0.15
Pretty staggering.
seconds.
That's fast.
So to make a long story short, Sechenov is in charge of this polymer thingy, this Jellyman, and the Jellyman is going to be in charge of everything that becomes part of the network.
I wonder who the Jellyman
Sounds like frickin' black magic or something.
The polymers have not been fully studied, nor has Collective.
Well, we've seen a Jellyman a couple
It's entirely
times.
possible that humans have created something greater than themselves. In fact, the electronic messages you have been reading at the pair terminals may very well have been specially selected for you by the neural network, or even created. We simply don't know, Major.
I don't like the sound of that.
It's no worse than a single man's drive to control more lives than just his own.
I still have to look up what a pair
The
terminal
Hopper
is.
is capable of detaining intruders with a special clamp. It is programmed to keep the subject pinned to the ground while awaiting a human rapid response team, or terminate it if none is coming.
These enemies were also never enemies to us. They just kind of like wandered around, didn't do anything.
Yeah.
The
When
haulers.
did the Jellyman come up before?
The ideal anti-personnel operator, programmed with advanced melee techniques, prioritizing breaking victims' necks to ensure zero survivability.
It's a pretty funny way of phrasing that. Yeah, so he's been, anytime that we've seen someone absorbed into the polymer, he was that red polymer goo that would like come out and then like grab the body and like pull it into the thing. We've seen it a number of times.
A light reconnaissance drone. A group of owls can lift an enemy off the ground and drop it from a lethal height.
Very funny.
Listen, this is fucking bonkers. Sechenov wants to take over the world and blow up America.
Not blow it up, just deprive it of electricity. Weren't you listening? If you still have doubts after the Academy, what I've told you, and everything you've seen around you, let's just do what we came here to do. Look your former boss in the eye and ask him.
The MFU-68 laborer is heavily represented among the robotic staff of prisons, where it carries out patrol duties.
That one weirdly has nothing to do with killing people, as far as I can tell. It's like, other than that's a crazy prison guard, it'd just be a giant buzzsaw. But yeah, this is the only enemy type that I do not remember seeing ever. That's why you see me staring at it. I'm like, what is this? The Drofa? 200 kills an hour.
Designed as a freight drone, the Drofa also doubles as a punitive expedition unit. Its unique Archimedes screw rotors can chop a human body into bits as efficiently as an industrial-grade meat grinder.
Yeah, I feel like we never encountered that I remember. I don't know. Yeah, I'll have to go back and show you after this where we've seen the Jellyman before. But he has popped up in a number of times. Basically, anytime someone's gone missing. That elevator is the one we went in at the beginning of the game. So we came out of that elevator and the way to the right was blocked where we just came from, and we had to go left into this office. And so so that was all like kind of a new thing since we went in a different way.
So this room looks familiar again.
Yes, right. And we also didn't have access to the whole room last time. We were kind of stuck right at the beginning because the twins were there. Which we knew who they are now too. Or we have a better idea at least. I think they make it more explicit in this upcoming conversation. Oh, I didn't translate that either. I'd been meaning to. Never got around to it.
I didn't notice that.
I've seen this cutscene so many times. I had to replay this over and over to like get it to work right. You'll see why in a bit. We'll talk about it later. We're very close to the end though at this point. Despite how long this video looks, most of it is just gonna be credits.
Boss?
Protect. Well, Cheriton, are you proud of yourself? You, Larissa, and Zenaida have certainly been busy. But Sergei, I wouldn't have expected you to be quite so gullible, my boy.
Silence! You messed with my head. You wiped my memory. Am I a toy to you like those other people connected to Collective? Who the fuck do you think you are?
Sergei. I can see you're terribly upset. It's okay, I don't blame you. But you, Cheriton, you were supposed to help the boy, not pull his strings like a puppet.
Me? Don't you blame this on me? I'm not the one trying to deprive everyone of their free will, turning them into mindless puppets. And it wasn't my choice to be a talking pile of goo either. You're glad it happened, aren't you? You'll use everything and everyone to achieve your goal, including me and your agent. Admit it!
How dare you? I lost you both, then saved your lives. You're both scientific miracles. You are my best friend, Cheriton. And the Major is like a son to me.
And those two are like daughters, right? And everyone you're going to connect to Collective, everyone whose minds you're going to control, who are they to you? Millions of foster kids? Everyone is just grist for your mill, Dimitri.
I want to give mankind a spectacular future. Unimaginable achievements. I want to give them a path to the star.
Both of you, shut up! Get your hands up! Some goddamn wizard you are. Tell him to stand down. I'm counting to 3. 1!
What a shame.
2!
It's a shame you've escalated this situation without even trying to resolve it.
So I feel like we are trying to resolve it peacefully.
But I won't let you stand in the way of progress. Right, left, terminate.
I feel like saying terminate is not resolving it peacefully. If you ask me, but I don't know, whatever. So here it is, the big fight. It'll probably be the thumbnail. I actually turned off QuickTime events after this since I beat the game, and this was the last. I was like, I didn't realize I could have turned them off the whole time. I do not like QuickTime events.
Could have turned off what?
Those little button prompts that I get where I have to like mash buttons to not die.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I turned them off after this. Whee! I wonder why right can fly but left can't. Like, what's that all about? Left seems to be a bit more like combat-y though. Seems like we generally get attacked by left, so. Well, which we'll see here in a second. Although she has a laser beam, so I don't know. Well, they both have the laser beam. Left did the laser beam in the earlier fight.
They both seem to be flying even, right?
No, we've never seen left fly. Two rights flying and then left. We'll see. They're on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
What in the actual living fuck is this?
Good question.
Stop blaming the machines, Major.
Freaking fucking critters! These are cold hard facts, Bullet!
So you can see I am very slowly doing this fight because I did it too quickly earlier, and I actually had to replay it to make sure we got all the dialogue.
Stop messing with my head! So one of these robots is Ekaterina Nechaeva, the wife I don't remember? Well, which one?
They both are.
Dun dun dun.
To bring Glesna back to life when her brain was literally ripped in half. I wanted to restore her right and left hemispheres, but the process was too complicated.
Dun dun dun.
Shit! But why? You're already fucking with people who are still alive. Couldn't you just leave the dead in peace?
So the left and right robots are each one is half of his wife's brain.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a cool thing. Explains why there's two of them.
That's enough, boss. I'm willing to believe that you are acting in my best interests. But why couldn't you just tell me?
I'm sorry, Sergei. I wasn't sure what to do.
Right now, the right thing is to call off the twins and just talk to me.
Forgive me, but right now they're fighting Cheriton, not you.
Which is very interesting that he says, right? They're fighting Cheriton, not you. It's like, oh, why is he fighting Cheriton and not Sergey. What is it that Cheriton and Zakharov, whatever the heck his name is.
Those certainly feels like they're attacking.
Yeah, certainly does. Well, Cheriton's on our hand, so.
Right, yeah.
That's what he says right now. Get rid of Cheriton, take off the glove.
Fine. First call off.
I think it'd be easy to kill him right now, right? It'd be easy to shoot him rather than shooting the...
There's
robot?
that force field around us. He's on the outside of that force field.
You can do this.
I think I tried that the first time I did this fight.
Sechenov is manipulating you.
Wake up, P3. Sheraton has been brainwashing you from the very beginning. Wake up.
Which is worth noting, too. Everyone's telling you to wake up.
Fuck.
It's gotta be hard to listen to all this while you're trying to shoot the enemy and all that kind of stuff, right?
I was distracted at the time, yeah.
Takes a lot of focus, I'm sure, to be able to shoot these guys in.
Major, wake up.
Yeah, it's interesting. Everyone's telling you to wake up right now. I really should have done the defensive drink for sure. Like, my health is running really low, but I forgot about it. So what are you gonna do?
Should add some vodka, huh?
Yeah. Numbs the pain. But yeah.
Wonder why he's saying that you were asleep.
Yeah, right? Well, so right now we have to ask who's in control.
You're suggesting that I'll be hurt.
You seem to be in control because you're controlling the
Right,
weapons.
but who am I controlling? Am I playing as Cheriton right now, or am I playing as Sergey?
Will you really kill your own wife, Sergey?
Who's in control? I mean, yes, me, but like in game, who's in control? This was kind of funny. It's actually pretty difficult to avoid the lasers if you're standing right here, but let's see if I do it. If you turn on your shield and go through this one, or don't, then it's super easy if you're standing right here. I think I ended up getting hit right at the end anyway because we're going too fast, but yeah, you can see. Just like, oh.
There, stop.
Yeah.
I don't think you took any damage on it.
No. I was able to avoid it. At this point, I'm trying to like make sure that all the dialogue's finished, which it is. I think once they do that attack the first time, that means that the fight's over, basically. You just need to finish it. I don't know. I'm still wasting time for some reason. I could easily finish it, which you'll see.
Right.
We'll talk
they're
about
almost
that.
gone, yeah.
Yeah. I'll, if you want to see this fight done really quickly, at the very end of the video, right before after the credits even, I'm going to be showing the like fast way to do this fight for anyone curious. It is way, way faster than this.
Is it possible to kill one and have the other still alive, or no?
No, they share health.
Okay.
Yeah, even though they show 2 health bars, they actually end up splitting the 2 health bars. So it doesn't quite work like that. Let's see here. I'm trying to avoid the lasers, but
Gotta live through this.
yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
There we go. Now it makes it easy. If you're in this little zone, it's super easy. I'm just too close, I think. You'll see if you watch my speedy version of the fight, I do it correctly and I don't get hit. It's not that hard.
Well, there they're both flying.
Yeah, you're right. They do fly for this one attack.
No, neither one is flying.
Well, yeah. But right does fall slower. See how messed up they look too? They look a lot more clean if you do the fight faster. They like slowly degrade as the fight goes on.
You lousy
Sergey,
piece
you don't
of
understand.
shit.
Cheriton's manipulating you. He gained access to the Voskhod module in your brain and started sending you to limbo. I was busy getting ready for the collective update, so I didn't realize it right away. He's the one who killed Molotov. Tell me, Cheriton, did you do the same thing to Dr. Filatova? Did you use my agent to tear her limb from limb?
I'm sick of your hypocrisy, Dimitri.
Which is another way of saying
I did
yes.
your dirty work while you stayed squeaky clean.
But they didn't deserve to die. Why have you done
I think
this?
Molotov was a senator from earlier in the game. The first time we saw the red jelly man was when Molotov disappeared.
Fucker, this whole
I
time.
think it was the first time we went to limbo too.
You Major.
He was about to take him out. It didn't work.
Yeah, which is an interesting difference from the first ending, right?
Yeah.
Because in the first ending, we just ripped him out just fine. There's no problems. But Granny Xena was around, so I don't know.
3, my boy. Get up! Get up!
Dun dun dun. We don't have a hand palm. You can see inside of the hole there. It's weird when you actually like look at it like that.
What do you want?
I want all this to end, Dimitri. I want your pathetic human race to realize it has no future.
It sounds evil.
It's time for it to step aside and make way for the next phase of its evolution.
But that's the Jelly Man in his red form. That's where we've seen him in the past, is connected to the device like that.
Me.
But that's ominous.
Yeah, so he's the Jelly Man.
He wasn't until not. He's still not. He's still not. And now he's the Jelly Man.
Chariton, you're pure evil. What are you going to do to humanity and collective?
You should not call something evil just because you cannot comprehend it. Evil is an abstract concept, and your thinking is limited.
I think that dog is Fluffy,
You are a human,
which was his password.
a species that will soon be extinct. I realized when I stopped being human myself. Your limitations prevent you from seeing the truth. Dumb humans don't want to evolve. All they want is comfort and satisfaction on someone else's dime.
You never wanted to join with the massive array.
The massive array is the Jelly Man. So he's saying you never wanted to become the Jelly Man before.
I changed my mind.
There. So he was not the Jelly Man up until right now. Well, not right now, but you know, this cuts in. It's interesting, P3 is still alive. He's just kind of like hanging out on the floor there. Like, oh, well, I don't know how I feel about all this. I'm gonna take a nap.
He's got his mind controlled, right? So.
Maybe his eyes weren't white though. When he's in limbo, his eyes are all glassy white. Because we've seen that in other cutscenes.
It can't be a real animal, so he's imagining that, I guess.
Well, we've seen the animal in limbo. I assume it died and he uploaded its consciousness to limbo.
Right, Limbo isn't real though.
Limbo is the collective. It's the neuropolymer connection that everyone experiences. So that's a thought device that he's showcasing isn't necessary for him or, well, anyone anymore. So you see there's a Drofa out the window, so definitely were Drofa.
The Argentum unit entered Dr. Sechenov's office and found no trace of the doctor. According to partially reconstructed footage, it appears the humanoid neuropolymer object approached Dr. Sechenov's body and then completely consumed it.
It's weird they just tell us this, but
After
Weird
the
they
event
consumed it.
described
That's
in
a
the
weird
report,
thing.
the unidentified humanoid neuropolymer object left Dr. Sechenov's office and vanished.
well, that's what it's done every time we've seen it. Every time the red polymer goose come out, it's been to consume somebody. It did it to Maltov, it did it to Petrov.
P2, P3, mind is never free.
Here we are in limbo, but we're not Fluffy, weirdly enough, in this cutscene. We're not, we don't have
true.
the white rabbit
Yeah,
bodies.
like human, normal. And those look like wedding rings, huh?
Oh, I thought those were the beta connectors.
I don't know.
And then
That's the wife. So
right.
I thought maybe it was wedding rings.
And that's it. That's the end of the game. That's the second end of the game, I should say. So now the rest of this video is credits. So just warning everybody, if you want to skip to the end, I do have one more thing to showcase, which is again, the quick version of that fight, but nothing new. There's no after credit scene or anything like that. So if you feel free to stick around, we're going to talk about the game, our feelings over the whole thing, and kind of do last minute ZoinkMeister review thing here, as we do at the end of every series since we've finished it. We didn't manage to complete this one necessarily. There's a lot of achievements that I didn't quite get, although I'm tempted to go back and do some of them, as I did enjoy my time with this game. But yeah, so in terms of talking about review scores and stuff like that, do we want to start by giving a score, or do we want to talk about it a bit and then give our scores? How are you feeling?
Yeah, no, we can talk about it a bit first. That's a good idea.
Okay.
I mean, overall, I thought it was a good game. The weird thing is that it didn't really go into the details of what's going on. Just
Right.
all this came out at the very end of the whole thing.
Just kind of a last
Like,
second, and it
this
felt
was-
like a non-ending even, right? Like it was like, and then we watch a slideshow talking about what happens next. You're like,
Yeah.
what?
It was a very long game, And it was all about what they talked about in the last 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, it was like there was
weird
no
they didn't build that up at all.
No plot forever and ever, and then suddenly within the last like 2 or 3 episodes, and so much of the plot was just hidden away in those like emails. I mean, most of it they just explained to you pretty well, but so much stuff that was like just emails and emails and emails and text and text and text, and it's like, I don't know if this is the best way to present the plot of this game, given how much time was spent not talking about the plot of the game, you know? I'm definitely with you there. Yeah, that was a big thing. I also, beyond the fact that all the plot was stuffed here at the end, also, it's like, it didn't even feel like an ending. Like, I feel like just kind of ran out of stuff to do or something. It's like, oh, so what's happening? Is Sergey alive? He's in limbo? Like, what's gonna go with that? Is he with his wife now? What's going on there? Is that just the end of the world? Like,
yeah, there's no positive ending either. I mean, either he lets
Sechenov win or Charlton win.
And so, yeah, if Charlton wins, that was pretty bad. And if Sechenov won, then
that also assumedly would be bad.
Right.
So, I mean,
maybe not as bad, honestly.
Yeah, comparatively. So from what I understand, it sounds like if Sechenov wins, then the world loses its free will, and Sechenov guides everyone to a utopian future where nobody has the ability to think negatively about anything or choose not to work or anything like that. Like, everyone is forced to live in a perfect socialist society.
Right.
Whereas if Charlton wins, then all of humanity will be killed because humans are gross and icky and bad, and they don't deserve to live, and they refuse to evolve, and he doesn't see the value in humanity. So all of humanity will be doomed to non-existence, basically. So of those 2 endings, admittedly,
Sechenov is the safer
I think
choice.
about team ending 1,
yeah.
It's like the lesser of 2 horrible fates. So
right. Yeah.
pretty wild that like ending 1 is the ending that it's like,
better to be communist than to be dead altogether, I guess.
Yeah, maybe it is better to be red than to be dead. This whole time, I would have never thought. So yeah, there's all that going for it. In terms of gameplay, this game was just BioShock. I was trying to tell someone was like, oh, what games have you played recently? And it's like, I've been playing a lot of Atomic Heart. It's like, oh, what's Atomic Heart? It's like, it's just BioShock, honestly. It's really just BioShock. But while BioShock is a commentary on the harms of extremist capitalism, Atomic Heart is clearly a commentary on the harms of extremist socialism, which I think is a really cool and brave thing to do for a Russian developer, to be like, maybe socialism was bad.
Does it take place in the same time frame? Like they're attacking the USSR and things like that, basically? Is that what it is? Or in what way is it?
Is BioShock, you're saying? Or?
Yeah, in what way is BioShock
extreme capitalist?
Yeah, extreme capitalist.
It's not anti-socialist at all. It's just very, very, that's why I tried to get you to watch the beginning of BioShock so you could see there's this whole presentation he does where he's like, does a man deserve the sweat of his brow? No, says the man at the Vatican. Or he's like, no, says the man in the White House. It belongs to the government. No, says the man in Moscow. It belongs to the people. No, says the man in Vatican. It belongs to God. And it's this just like idea of like everyone, I guess less capitalist. Well, no, it's extreme capitalist, but it's very much like extreme libertarianism, I guess, in that it's sort of like each person to themselves sort of thing. And like,
well, this is communist and like attacking capitalists is the idea. So that one's right. That's not capitalist attacking communism though. It's just very positive.
BioShock is capitalists decide to create their own society separate from the rest of the world where they can do their own like extreme thing, and then it goes horribly wrong for them. And it's like everyone involved goes crazy and starts killing each other and stuff like that. That's BioShock. This, it's not people go crazy and start killing each other. It's like they create robots that then one person is in control of. Because that's what it's, I think the biggest difference is just the difference in theology. Whereas like this was like, you know, oh, if you have one person who's supposed to be like making everyone be equal, then it's like, well, what happens when that one person like takes that to the extreme and makes everyone exactly equal? And it's like no one has free will and everyone is just in their own, you know, limbo and stuff like that. Whereas BioShock wasn't like that. It was like everyone was just like, I don't know, addicted to drugs and like willing to kill each other to get better access to resources and stuff like that. Because it was like no one's equal. It's like your station is, if someone else's station is lower, then yours is higher, sort of thing. So it was like I said, it's just kind of very opposite approach compared to this game. But yeah,
this doesn't seem very positive around communism. It seems to make the USSR seem like a very negative group, right? Is what it does.
That's what BioShock is, very negative against capitalism too. It's like,
oh, okay.
The whole point is that going extreme capitalism made everyone go crazy and kill each other. Like it's a terrible society, clearly. You don't walk into a utopia, you walk into a dystopia. The idea is that they present to you what the utopia was supposed to be, but then you see it in practice and see that it was not a utopia after all. So yeah, that's the thing is, no, it's not pro. It's like definitely like, nope, this is bad. The other thing that makes it very similar, and this is spoiler warning for BioShock. I'm gonna put that out there. If you want to play BioShock, you have not played BioShock, you're not aware of the big plot point in that game, then skip ahead a little bit here. I'm gonna say the spoilers. Okay, here it is.
Spoiler, here it goes.
Spoilers. In BioShock, especially if you get a chance to watch that beginning, you'll see there's a guy named Atlas who calls you on the phone, and every time he tells you to do something, he starts the phrase with "Would you kindly?" So he's like, "Would you kindly do this?" And it turns out that you're a sleeper agent in that game, and the phrase "Would you kindly?" forces you to do whatever the next thing is that's spoken is. So in the context of the game, you do it because you're playing a video game and it's like the only thing to do. But in the meta narrative of the game, it's like, oh, like that's actually the reason you're doing it. The reason the character's doing it is because he literally has to, because he's been brainwashed.
Oh, okay.
So very similar to this game, right? Where it's like,
people are definitely brainwashed in this game too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, okay, how much control did P3, Sergei actually have? And clearly he had way more control, because ending one is you kind of like take your own control and decide for yourself what you're gonna do, right? It's like, no, I'm not gonna let anyone boss me around. I'm leaving, I'm getting rid of Charlton, I'm not gonna follow Sergei anymore, or Sechenov anymore, or whatever. So yeah, I don't know.
Well, Sechenov did save his life, as he pointed out in the end.
Yes.
You wouldn't, don't complain, because you'd be dead right now if it weren't for me. So
I think
I basically saved you.
Right, but I think he does make a comment about like, why can't you just let the dead people stay dead? Something like that. He's like, why did you have to bring them back to life? Is this really a better existence? But which I don't know about that, but he does mention it, so I figured I'd provide that counterpoint. But yeah, that's what I felt. I don't know. The whole time it was kind of weird with like, I got the impression that people thought Sechenov was worse than he actually was, because I think a lot of things were Charlton doing things and everyone thinking it was Sechenov who was doing them.
Yeah.
I kind of got like, I thought like Molotov died because Molotov was like found out what Sechenov was doing and he was trying to shut it down. Because he like showed up in the complex in facility 3826 or whatever, and he was like, oh, the robots have gone crazy and they're killing everyone. We have to shut down the Atomic Heart Project. And then as soon as he said that, we go into limbo, we wake up and he's dead. And he gets consumed by the Jelly Man, by the red polymer. And it's like, we thought originally that Sechenov had done that because we're an agent of Sechenov. And it's like, oh, this guy was opposing Sechenov's plans and so he died. But we found out here at the end, no, that was Charlton who did that.
Yeah,
and Sechenov
Charlton
was like, no, you shouldn't have killed him. I didn't want you to kill him. Like,
yeah, when you're in limbo, then
Charlton in control.
Basically is controlling you.
But we thought it was Sechenov controlling you this whole time, because we were like Sechenov's guy. Like that's the whole point. And also at the end, that little slideshow that happens, the people who are giving that report, that's the Argentum unit, which is the Spec Ops team that we used to be a part of, that P3 used to be a part of before what he was Platinum or Plutonium or whatever his name was. And so it's like, I wonder if... So the big thing is that like, in terms of what this game is, if you were to take it as a standalone experience, like just this game by itself, I feel like it's missing a lot. And I'm kind of hoping the DLCs, because there's 4 DLCs, kind of help add on to the story to the point where it feels like it has a real ending. Because right now it doesn't feel like that to me. It feels like there's a lot of questions.
Could definitely use more of an ending. Yeah, it ends very quickly. Yeah.
And so I personally feel like, in terms of judging this off of what we're presented, I'm not really, like, I'm excited for where it could go. I really did enjoy my time with this game, and I enjoyed what the story was getting at. I loved a lot of the philosophical conversations even between Charlton and Sergei throughout the game, but I feel like it didn't really live up to its potential there at the end. It felt like it just kind of was like, buy the DLC. And so I don't know. I do want to come back to this at some point and play those DLCs. Not right away, because just this is the longest series we've like ever had on ZoinkMeister, I think. So we're going to take a break. But I do eventually want to come back and check those out and see if they do a good job, because they're not all out yet. Well, the third DLC is on its way, but it's not, so far only 2 have come out so far. They've announced the third one though, and they've shown trailers for it, which I haven't seen yet. I haven't really wanted spoilers, but yeah, I don't know. It just makes me wonder. So at this point, do you want to give, I think it's a good time to give the score. I'm going to give this game, as I said, by itself, I'm honestly going to give this game a B-.
Okay, interesting.
On a score from A to I. So I'll put it up on screen so that you guys will see it at home, but it's A minus, B plus, B minus, C plus, C minus, D, I. And so a B-, I mean, if you were to look at that in terms of like out of 10, that'd be what? I, D, C minus, C plus, wait. I, D, C minus, C plus, B minus. That'd be like a 6 out of 10, which is pretty low. But honestly, this game was just really glitchy. It was really, really glitchy. That was my main complaint, is so many things didn't work. I had to reset so many times. Cutscenes are unskippable. I cannot tell you. You guys behind the scene don't get to see how frustrating it was. That last fight that I showcased, where I like waited for all the dialogue to happen, that was part of a 2-hour recording just to get that one fight scene again. Because I was trying to get these credits that you're watching right now. I'm splicing together 2 different credits. These are actually in the background. This is the ending 1 credits with the music from ending 2, because the music's different between ending 1 and ending 2, but the credits are the same. But the credits are glitched in ending 2, and so there's a crosshair in the middle of the screen that ruins the credits, and there's the whole heads-up display. You can see your health in the corner and like your ammo and everything, and it just covers up the whole screen, and it looks really bad. So I had to record the credits twice, and they're 25 minutes long, so it was 50 minutes of my life. Plus it's 30 minutes of cutscene to get to ending 1 from the previous save location, right before ending 1. It's at the lighthouse. You have to go through the whole lighthouse. You have to go downstairs. You have to talk to Flotova. You have to walk through the facility. You have to go through Limbo, all that. You have to sit through all of the videos. You have to like go find the videos around the room, put the videos in, sit through those videos. Then you go to Limbo, and then there's a cutscene with Granny Xena where she's like, "Are you going to fight?" And then you get to make the decision. And all that you have to do every single time if you want to see the credits. There's not even a credits button in the game. You can't just be like, most games have a button on the main menu that's like, show me the credits. It's just that easy. This game does not. You have to play through the whole thing to get to the credits. It's like, come on. So yeah, it could be that I'm especially frustrated right now just because the ending of this game seems to have fallen apart so much. Like it just doesn't feel finished to me, especially now that we've gotten to the end and I'm like, yeah, this isn't a good ending. This game is clearly like not finished. I think that might be part of what's annoying me more. Like if you had asked me 5 episodes ago, I probably would have given it like a B or maybe even a B+ if I was feeling generous. And there's also so many like weapons that felt disappointing to me. Like the upgrades never got anywhere like super interesting to me. Like the pistol became like a slightly better pistol. Like it's now fully automatic kind of, so yay. The revolver pistol, that one was kind of cool, but it went through ammo way too quickly. So it was more of an annoying upgrade, and I ended up switching out of it, even though it was like my favorite upgrade in the game in terms of like actually making a weapon feel unique.
The flying blade saw thing, that was pretty cool.
Fun.
That
You're right. That one was fun. I guess more the machine gun was the most disappointing, and the shotgun. Yes.
That was
the saw was cool. The pistol had a cool upgrade, and also the machine gun, the energy gun that like the bullets like flew around the air and like homed in. Yeah. That one was also kind of cool. That had like homing bullets. But the shotgun was super disappointing. It didn't go anywhere, and the machine gun, the AK-47 was super disappointing. It didn't do anything other than like at the beginning it was a machine gun, at the end it was a machine gun. Nothing really interesting happened the whole time. And that's the thing, even our glove upgrades like didn't really change that much, you know, like the telekinesis ability felt like the same. Like, did you notice any radical difference between when I used the telekinesis the first time I got it and when I used it the last couple episodes where it's been fully upgraded? Like, no, it still looks identical, honestly. It picks up bigger enemies now, but that's about it. So yeah, I don't know. Same thing with like...
A lot of the puzzles were pretty neat though, where you had to like rotate the floors and things like that, or the magnetic levels that you had to raise and lower stuff. I mean, it was all kind of interesting.
That's the thing.
Pretty cool.
Even those when the game started, those took way too long to kick off, I felt like. Like, yeah, those got good in the like last couple places we went to. There's 12 facilities, and I'd say about 2 or 3 of the 12 had good puzzles. The first like 8 facilities we went in were like almost non-puzzles. We just like flew through them. Like, it's like the first time we had to do the rotation puzzle was you just rotated it once and then you walk through, and that was the whole puzzle.
Introduce it, right? That's how you introduce the concept, and then you gradually gets more expensive.
It just got way too
complicated.
Right. It got way too gradual. And those laser puzzles on the walls where you had to like rotate the things on the walls to get the lasers to match.
Yeah.
That never went anywhere. Like, I don't think I ever saw a version of that wasn't like two turns away from an answer. Just like switch that, and it was done. That was it. It's like, okay, well, there's like 6 different things to rotate on this wall, and I've never had to rotate more than 2 things in one puzzle. So like, that's what I'm saying. It's just, they never really
They could have built those up quite a bit more. You're
exactly right.
That's a good point.
Even if there'd been like a difficulty slider for like the puzzles specifically or something. So it's like for people who don't want it, because you can skip every puzzle in the game. I don't know if I said that. There's an option to literally auto solve puzzles. So it's like, if you're gonna have an auto solve puzzle option, the puzzles had better be way harder. I definitely I never felt the need to like skip a puzzle at any point in this entire game. I think there was exactly one of the like color rotation puzzles where I was like, okay, this one's good. This one's stumping me, where I was like, actually took a while to get it. Was those colored dots where you had to like spin the colored dots and you like push a button to like rotate them and stuff like that. And like that timing puzzle where the lights went in a circle and you had to like turn the lights on and off. That puzzle was literally identical, literally every single time we did it, from beginning to end of the game. The one where I was saying at the end, I finally found a timing that got it to like 19 seconds to do or something like that. Some short, I think it took me 7 seconds to get through that puzzle. Because it was exactly the same every single time I did it, where I was like, I found a new method of doing this puzzle. Because I've done the puzzle so many times. It's like not a puzzle at this point. It's just a waste of my time. So yeah, it was stuff like that where it's just like so much amazing potential. Like I totally agree that like this game had a ton of potential, and like every time something was introduced, I'm like, this is a cool idea. Like I like the enemy variety even. I like that it felt like we kept finding kind of new-ish enemies, or we found them in kind of new scenarios or new combinations, stuff like that. That was the other part of it, was it wasn't as difficult as I thought it was gonna be. And this is not a complaint at all. This was just a personal comment because we're almost at the end of the video here. I like turned, if you remember, I set it to easy when we started, and then at some point I was like, this really doesn't need to be on easy, and I set it to medium. And by the end of the game, I was like, this really doesn't even need to be set to medium. This twins fight that you'll see at the end was like, for the final fight in the game, it was really barely a fight. I mean, the way you saw it here, where it's like, yeah, if I'm using the machine guns, then I almost got to no health. But that was without even using my, I wasn't trying. I was intentionally going slowly and like letting them attack and stuff like that, because I was wasting the dialogue, or I was letting the dialogue play through. But that's not a complaint. I was fine with the difficulty.
That's right. It is very repetitive, I guess. I mean, I guess I would also kind of give it maybe a B.
Yeah.
Because you're right. It is just kind of very repetitive. You're always just killing the same robots over and over again. You're solving the same kind of puzzles over and over again, things like that. So
like, did it need to be this long too? That's my big thing. It's like, I feel like if they'd made this like a type 5, it's like if they'd found places to cut down on the monotony, I'm sure my score would be raised a lot. Like part of the B- is the fact that like this didn't need to be the longest series on ZoinkMeister. Like nothing happened for a lot of those episodes. So yeah, I get the B. I think B's a solid score. Like I said, if I hadn't had to replay the ending a bajillion times to get this footage, I'd probably be at a B as well. For me, the minus is just from personal frustration with the inability to skip cutscenes. Because it's like, why? Cutscenes are so long. Towards the end of the game. Before that, they're not even that bad. It's just like the end of the game is just so cutscene dense. It's like, man, couldn't we have cut down kind of in the middle a little bit? And then, like, do you remember that we had a completely different map, and we had to get on a railroad at some point, and the railroad took us to this current map that we've been on.
Right.
What was the point of the whole first half of this game? Can you recollect a single thing that happened before we got on that railroad? That's what I was trying to think about. I was like, the railroad's like my first memory of this game. Like, I don't even remember what we did in the previous map.
Huh.
I'd forgotten that this game had 2 maps.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Why do all that when you have to just get over here ultimately?
Yeah, and
I
it's
mean,
like
that's a good question.
nothing happened. Nothing happened for a long time. It's like, I don't know. It was just too much. It was like way too much.
Yeah. It's a very long game for sure. We had to make a lot of videos out of it in order to record all of this, and not that much unique stuff really going on. It was a lot of repetitive things. They could have cut it back, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, maybe that should have been an option in some way. I'm sure they made it longer so that people wanted to play the game for a long time. They make it long for people to be able to play for a long time.
Right, and that could be partially like my fault for playing it the way that I did, because I have seen other Let's Players like Rad Brad on YouTube. He has like a 12 episode series, and each episode's like an hour, so they're like 3 times the length of ours. So still 12 episodes would only be like 40 episodes maybe for him if he were doing it as long as our episodes are. So the fact that ours is like 60 instead of like 40 tells you that, you know, the fact that I did every single side objective was probably unnecessary, but I enjoyed the side objectives. It's like, they weren't bad. They were just, I just wish, I don't know, you know, it's just like, and right. So maybe that's on me for not like speed running the main story only, but it's not like, I don't know. I mean, maybe you can go back into the world and then go back and redo the side objectives and then have fun doing that way. But yeah, just the pacing felt a little odd to me.
Did you manage to catch everything? Were all the awards or whatever given to you, or did you miss a lot of things? How did that work out?
I didn't even get all the achievements. I mean, some of the achievements were like, one of them was kill Hedgie without firing a single bullet, which I didn't do. And I want to go back and do some of the achievements. I mean, I'm like, honestly,
you still want to give it a B- even though you want to go back and keep playing the game?
Yeah, because a lot of like, I mean, the ZoinkMeister official rating that we do is intentionally supposed to be a rating for other people. It's like, do I recommend that someone else plays this game? And the answer is like, not really. Like, if you definitely would like it after watching us play and you're like, that looks cool, then like totally give it a try. Like, I enjoyed my time with it. But this is absolutely not a game I'd recommend to anybody. If anyone was like, he's like, what game are you playing right now? It's like, oh, Atomic Heart. It's like, oh, should I give Atomic Heart a try? I'd be like, no, go play BioShock. Like, BioShock is just the better Atomic Heart, if I'm being honest. It's older, but it's a much tighter storyline and a lot more happens. And it's just like, I think a little bit more on top of itself. I love how many songs are here at the end of the credits. They show all the music. There's tons of music in this game. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, this is the second DLC music that we're getting to here. And then scientific advisors, which I think is kind of a fun thing. So that's the thing. It's like, I enjoyed my time with the game. I don't know if other people would enjoy it as much as I did. And I in fact think that they might not, considering this game did not review very well. So I get the impression that other people probably did not enjoy it the way that I did. Like you even talked about kind of early on, you were like, should we play a different game? Like, this isn't getting too many views. And I was like, I'm going to finish it anyway, because I'm enjoying my time with it. But yeah, I feel like other people kind of got the hint before I did. I just happen to like this kind of game, I think.
Yeah, definitely done a lot of good games.
Yeah, totally. Thank you guys so much for listening. This is the end of Atomic Heart, other than the one little thing after this. I hope you guys enjoyed it so very much, and I hope you come back for whatever we have left. Honestly, I don't know how many more series I have left in me. As you might be able to tell, Adam has mostly left the channel at this point, and my plan from here on out is to just kind of finish off what I've started, which should still be fun, hopefully. So something's already lined up for what's coming next, but it is something old that's coming back, and I hope you appreciate that. Otherwise, I hope I see you around. Have a great one. Zoink out. Okay.
What in the actual living?
So this is how you actually do this fight. You drink some vodka.
Stop blaming
This is the first time you fought it.
Freaking fucking critters.
You toss
These
that.
are cold hard facts.
You then you get your condensed milk to increase your damage output. Have that. Give me my drink.
This is exactly.
Just avoid the damage for now. Get out the rocket launcher. And look at that. That's quarter of her health, like half her health, 3/4 of her health. Then you have to reload, and then if you look at the health in the top, by the time I fire another, see, they share their health. So now her health's back up.
Major.
So I tried to prevent her from doing that, but then I got knocked over. So I ended up just reloading my thing anyway, because they switched healths. Do it again and again. happen again.
You had to do this over again because you didn't get all the conversation was the problem, right? So.
As you can see, they're like in the middle of talking and the fight's already over. Like, oh, what's going on here? Okay. So you just turn that on and stand right here.
Surrender,
it's like, okay.
And give me Cheriton.
Pretty easy.
Anyone else gets hurt.
Hey, they're still talking.
I'll be hurt.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird if you finish it too quickly, then you miss out on a lot of the conversation. That's really weird. You have to fight slow just in order to hear it all.
Yeah, that's it.